Good evening. I would like to call the Government Services Committee meeting for Monday, April 28th to order. Roll call, please.
Bester.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Sokaitis.
Here.
Folks.
Here.
Munns.
Here.
Lencioni. Gem.
Here.
Petrella.
Here.
Wirball.
Here.
I'm here too.
Bungard.
I'm here. Thought you called me. Thank you. We're going to be removing items 5O, 5R, and 5S from Omnibus. And with that, I'm looking for a vote to approve the Omnibus.
Weber will move. Second.
Motion by Weber, second by Wirball. Roll call, please.
Bester.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Sokaitis.
Yes.
Folks.
Yes.
Munns.
Yes.
Gem.
Yes.
Petrella.
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on, item 5A, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a master engineering service agreement for the water and sewer utility system. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
All right, this is, like you stated, a master service agreement, so this is an hourly rate contract for engineering services, which is usually design and or bidding and or construction oversight. Typically surrounding or around water and sanitary underground construction, maybe some smaller projects at lift stations. We typically go out for RFP for like the bigger, like huge lift stations or wastewater plants or water plant construction. So this is more of our day-to-day engineering services. We went up for an RFP. Ferrogram came in as the best firm selected by our team, and our recommendation is move forward with Ferrogram for this next year.
Move for approval. Second.
Moved by Brian, second by Bob. Roll call, please.
Bester.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Sokaitis.
Yes.
Folks.
Yes.
Munns.
Yes.
Gem.
Yes.
Petrella.
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. That passes. Moving on, item 5B, recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a contract for water, sanitary, sewer, and storm sewer underground point repairs.
So this contract, again, is an hourly rate contract. It's really to help our crews when we are kind of like overwhelmed or we have more work than we can complete. Typically, we keep a contractor almost employed an entire year. That's how much underground repairs we make. So a lot of times it's hydrant repairs, hydrant replacement, valve replacement. If we have multiple water main breaks, like our crews working on one water main break to come in and help us do another water main break, stormwater and sanitary underground repairs. It's an hourly rate contract. IHC was the low proposal on this one. We did receive 2 proposals. IHC has been our contractor for this type of service for the last 3 years. We've had no problems with their team or their operations as it relates to this underground work. Is there any questions?
Right.
How does this relate to lead service lines, if any are discovered while they're doing the work?
They may help with a lead service line or two, so it's either our crews or theirs that might, they might bring in their drilling machine. As a reminder, this year we're only taking care of lead service lines at high-risk facilities, so they'd be like daycares or schools. There are no schools in the city of St. Charles that have lead service lines, just to be clear about that. But if we come across a home daycare, licensed home daycare, that may have a lead service line, we'll go and replace that right away per the Illinois EPA recommendations. In the future, when we start talking about the $8 million project, that's going to be a larger EPA probably bid or maybe an EPA loan, so that follows a totally different bidding requirements with the state. So no, they will not be doing that type of work.
Okay.
Kind of along that line too, when you're opening up the ground, just for the record, I mean, I assume you do. Do you coordinate with like NICOR and make sure if they have any existing plans so we're not like opening up the ground twice?
Yeah, no, state law, we're required to call in Julie anytime we dig and coordinate with any utility that's underground.
Anybody else?
For approval.
Second.
Moved by Brian, second by David. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulturitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Thank you. That passes. 5C, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a notice of intent for the well drilling and development project.
So I'm just going to take a second here. Item C and item D, we're approving them a little bit different than our normal contracts. You know, usually we come in front of you as a team here and we request for approval of the contract. Both of these items are Illinois EPA loans, so it's a little bit different process. There's more steps. Also with the change in administration, we're going to have to kind of split these up a little bit. So I'm going to be asking for a notice of intent award. The reason for that is that way we can get the entire bid package down to the Illinois EPA for review, all right? That way they can start the review process and start, you know, the awarding the loan. We'll be back next month to actually ask for a notice to approve and a notice to proceed with construction. So just to be clear on that. So a little bit of a different process. So the first one is the recommendation to authorizing notice of intent for the well drilling and development project. So as a reminder, the water system is under capacity. So this project is actually drilling a well. It's going to be a deep well, about 1,500 feet deep. That water will be then treated at an existing treatment site. This, as a reminder, we've kind of talked about this project several times, you know, over the loan authorization agreement last month. There's actually 3 phases. So this is phase 1 of three bids that are coming out here next month. You'll see that we're slightly under budget, about $1.5 million under budget, but don't get too excited. We still have the final and the largest phase to bid out, which is the actual rehab of the filter plant. So we'll have to see how we come in overall budget. So item C, item D, and that bid that we're opening this Thursday all adds up. And we'll actually see what our final amount is in our final loan. So back to the project, we're drilling a deep well. The next item that we're going to ask for permission for approval is the actual raw water line. They'll transmit that raw water to the main plant for treatment. Do we have any questions on this item, item C?
Yeah.
I actually have a question on the whole item. Can you help me understand what the full scope of the project is from a total amount perspective? So
if you remember last month, I was getting the loan authorized. So there's 3 projects all put together, one big, massive, you know, water development, try to make up our capacity.
Right.
It's drilling a deep well, so we have a new water source, right? Then it's going to be running a water line from that new deep well location to the existing treatment plant that's on Ohio Street. So we have some additional capacity at Ohio Street. We go and we're going to utilize that capacity, and we're going to rehab that facility at the same time. So that's going to be a third item that's going to be coming out the bid here actually this Thursday.
Okay.
So I'll be back to discuss that.
And then what's the anticipated total amount for the entire project?
Total amount, I think it was around $10 million. I should have had that number memorized by now, but if I remember correct, around $10 million.
Okay.
And don't hold me to that, please.
No, but that
that
helps, just getting that perspective.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Ron?
Yeah, thank you. For the raw water line, you're showing it running down Couch Road, right?
Yeah, before we get to that agenda, let's see if there's any questions on the well drilling.
Oh, I saw it, okay.
Yep.
That we were talking about. Okay. I'll make a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
So we have a motion by Steve, second by Brian. Roll call, please, on 5C.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulturitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So moving on, item 5D, the recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a notice of intent for the raw water line and well site development project.
Yep, so it's like I was discussing, this one we had 5 bidders, and the low bidder came in slightly under budget at $3.2 million. I'll kind of open up for questions since I've already explained the whole process in the project.
Ron, you want to go ahead?
Thank you. So that's going to go down Couch Road, right?
Yes.
Is that going to go in the roadway, or is it going to be on the side? Because we redid Couch Road.
Yeah, I completely understand. We actually redid south of this, and north of this project. So this is a section of roadway we haven't touched yet. But at the same note, we're directional drilling, so it's gonna be, you know, pits, and we'll be pushing the pipe instead of tearing up the entire road.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
So, well, Tim, part of all this, so the $17.5 million, which was the estimated EPA loan that we approved last month.
Yep, see, I was way off, 17.
So with these two together, we're just a little bit over $5 million. So would the largest part being actually getting the water into the treatment plant? So would that be the biggest portion? And
Yes,
then
that's gonna be the largest portion or the largest project. That's, you know, actually bringing bringing the water, raw water all the way into the building, rehabbing the filters, rehabbing the building. There's also an existing well there that we're gonna pull and maintain while we're there, and a very old 1960s electric panel too that we're gonna replace. So that's why it's such a large, or it's a little bit higher in expenses than the rest of the phases.
Yeah, so that basically retrofit the old treatment plant in order to take the additional capacity when we get this line put.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
David?
So you're boring under the UP line. You don't anticipate any delays with the railroad or anything like that?
No, we've been working with UP for the last year to get permitting from them for this section, so no, we don't.
So you've been working on it for a year. I was going to say, in my experience, it takes a little while, but it sounds like you're on it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved by Brian, seconded by Bob. Roll call, please.
Bester,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on, 5E, recommendation to approve resolutions with the Illinois Department of Transportation for the 2025 Street Rehabilitation Program.
Good evening. This is simply a resolution to approve an agreement with IDOT. A portion of our annual roadway program is constructed using MFT funds, and this agreement appropriates MFT funds for eligible items on that program.
Weber will move. Second.
Motion by Steve, seconded by David. Roll call, please.
Bessner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 5F, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a construction contract for the 2025 Street Rehabilitation Program.
The 2025 Street Rehabilitation Program was presented, the streets were presented to you back in 2025. We put the contract out for bid. The low bidder is Builders Paving. They are currently going to do the Prairie Street resurfacing project. They did the 2016 St. Charles project and a number of other projects in the area, so they are capable of performing the work on time. We'll be starting in May with a completion in October, and notifications will be going out to residents shortly.
Move for approval?
Second.
Motion by Jamie, seconded by Steve. Roll call, please.
Ed made the second.
I'm sorry, Ed.
Bessner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. 5G, recommendation to waive the formal bid procedure and approve a resolution authorizing spot buying of cable and transformers for fiscal year 2025 and 2026.
I'm trying to make them shorter for you.
They're getting longer as we go. Clearly I've upset somebody in Public Works. It's fine.
Sorry. So the market price for metals fluctuates, as we all know, cable and transformers being majority metals. The spot buying option gives us the opportunity to call our local vendors and place orders same day, same week, so we can put orders in and not have the timeline it takes to schedule meetings and get in front of you, because a lot of times they're not willing to lock us in for pricing. I equivalent it to, I wish the fuel one was before this, because it's real easy to say the fuel prices fluctuate so fast by the time we get in front of you to ask for permission to buy something. But that's what this is, to buy cable and transformers for the electric division. Quantities will be based on the electric division's needs for the year.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Brian, second by David. Roll call, please.
Bessner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. 5H, a recommendation to waive the formal bid procedure and approve a resolution to approve the ordering of gasoline and diesel fuel on an as-needed basis for fiscal year 2025, 2026.
Same process, again, sorry. So we contact our 6 area vendors for fuel by 8 a.m. for same-day quotes and same-day delivery. We typically receive 3 to 5 responses for this based on their availability of trucks and work schedule. So it's been a good procedure for us for getting bulk fuel deliveries to the Public Works Department.
Move for approval. Just one question, AJ. About how many gallons do we buy in a given month?
In a given month, I'd say we get 8,000 gallons every 2 to 3 weeks. Winter is heavier, obviously, when you get the big trucks rolling.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. Sorry.
So we have a motion by Steve? Oh, Ed, sorry. Ed.
That's
Looking for a second.
Second.
Second by David. Roll call, please.
Fessner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. 5I, a recommendation to approve a resolution awarding the bid for a 3-year contract for building mechanical systems maintenance services.
The Public Works Department maintains a central contract for HVAC for all of our city facilities, including remote fire stations as well as lift stations and water sewer plants. City recently opened bids for a 3-year contract to perform maintenance and repairs of these systems. Being that it was a maintenance and repair contract, we tried to factor in repair costs or 100 hours of regular time, 25 hours of emergency overtime into the basis of comparables. We received 5 responses to this invitation to bid, with Sherman Mechanical of Cary being the lowest responsible bidder.
How many repairs a year do we have, do you estimate? And because I recall, didn't we have the Century Station, or was it here?
Yeah, we've replaced the chiller units here, 4 of them here, 2 of them at Century Station. That's significantly helped our repair burden, but we do still have some older units out there. This contract gets eyes on them twice a year. Our staff gets eyes on them daily for boilers. You know, it depends on the system, but we're replacing belts in the odd quarters of when the contractor's not there.
But do you anticipate less maintenance because we have all of these new units? Or
On those units, absolutely.
Okay.
And we have seen that.
Okay. I'm just curious because when you have newer units, there's going to be less calls, less expense for the contractor. So I was just kind of thinking about that, but this is your
think
thing.
Of like your home HVAC system. The newer units are all computerized and a little more specialized, so it's a little more robust to get into. So it's the same principle.
All right, move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Brian, second by David. Roll call, please.
Fessner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
Gem,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 5J, a recommendation to approve a resolution awarding a contract for a 5-year mosquito control program.
So we recently issued a request for proposals for qualified companies to perform mosquito abatement services. The city's mosquito program is a comprehensive program. Really, we're focusing on larvicide and mitigating the problem before it becomes a problem, but then there's also aspects of the program to address the adult mosquito control. So we treat 8,000 catch basins, retention, detention ponds, as well as 300 acres of wooded areas for larval control. That's a tablet that's dropped into the basins or that's applied by a helicopter to the remote areas that aren't accessible by car. There's adult mosquito monitoring component to this. We have 6 traps set up throughout the city. Traps monitor nuisance populations, but samples are also tested for West Nile virus. And that when warranted, adult mosquito treatment is performed based on trap activity and hatch cycles. In addition, contractors required to maintain the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit. I set it all out. It's the NPDES permit for the service, and they have to provide a customer service portal capable of notifying residents in advance of any adult spray applications, which residents have to sign up for. Clark Environmental provided the sole response to this RFP solicitation. I believe Clark has been our contractor since the inception of the program. I can't really go back that far for any records I've found, but they're also the mosquito abatement contractor for all of our neighboring communities. So when there is adult applications or when we are looking at trap counts, we can look at a more regional approach to it.
Move for approval.
One request, I'm fine with this, but I have residents that ask to be notified before the Clark mosquito truck comes by and sprays so they can close their windows.
Yep.
And could we put the process of how to sign up with Clark on our website and social media so people have that opportunity to sign up and then are notified and close their windows? Can we?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
perfect.
And I believe there is a new state law that requires us to post in advance of spraying also.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll work with Lisa on all that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just quick, do we get a lot of calls, complaints, concerns when this happens, when this comes around each year from residents?
I think we get a lot of calls both ways on this one.
Okay.
This is a very polarizing topic. You either want sprays all the time or you don't want to be sprayed at all. So a lot of calls, I'd say no, but the ones who do call have an opinion.
Move for approval.
Second.
So we have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Brian. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Item 5K, a recommendation to approve a resolution awarding the bid for a 3-year contract for storm sewer cleaning and televising services.
The Public Services Division is on a 10-year maintenance cycle for our storm sewer system. A major component of that is cleaning and televising services. We issued a bid to have those services performed. We received, four responses to this bid with McVac Hydro Excavating of McHenry. I'm getting my HVAC ones mixed up, being the lowest responsible bidder. Work is going to be focused in this cycle in the southwest quadrants in our zones 4 and 5.
Move for approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Brian, seconded by Steve. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
5L, we're a recommendation to waive the formal bid procedure and approve a resolution accepting the blanket quote from Federal Pacific for stock switch gear for fiscal year 2025-2026.
I will do better next year. Our electric division has established Federal Pacific as the standard for their switch gears. They work directly with utilities and local governments to provide fixed rate pricing. Their local regional supplier is Power One Systems, actually of St. Charles. So this is an opportunity for us to, like the cable and transformers, except for this one's more of a lead time issue. We have a small inventory in our yard, so as the electric division is using them, we're replacing them as fast as we can.
Yeah.
I have a question. AG, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but is this something that is in line? Is this an annual thing that we have to do with this?
Yes, so they update their pricing and I bring it
Is this
to you.
price, is it in line like where it was last year? Like, did we do the same?
They're doing, yeah, it's in line with, obviously all market adjustments for metals and everything else that's in there.
Okay, thank you.
I think we do about 20 to 25 a year, sorry.
That's fine.
Who is that from?
Me.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion by David, second by Bob. Move approval.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
5M, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of vehicles and equipment budgeted in fiscal year 2025-2026 and to authorize the sale or trade of corresponding vehicles to be replaced.
So 25 units were budgeted to be replaced this year across all departments. In recent years, my message has been mostly doom and gloom during this conversation. I think we've had a pretty good luck working with our local dealerships and vendors and establishing new ones kind of outside of our area. Of the 25 on that list, 4 are rebudgets from previous years. This we haven't received in time, so they're rebudgeted, and I'm asking to stay on the list essentially for those units. This year, our focus is going to be on finding the units quickly. Ford has announced that their tariff pricing is going into effect in June, so we are going to be hitting the ground running in May, pending approval. And then for our large construction equipment, we're going to continue working with our local vendors as well as those outfitters that we've been working with. Large trucks, you can still find the mutual joint purchase pricing for the light-duty vehicles. Since COVID happened, the state stopped doing joint purchases for light-duty vehicles, so we're kind of on our own to find those. But that is where we're at. Oh, and an update, I've been talking about this digger derrick we ordered for electric in 2021. We received it last month. So that was a win.
Much like a fire engine that takes 4 years to get, right?
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. That's fine.
Could you give us an update as you purchase these vehicles? That's a big number, $2 million, so we know where you're at on that?
I'll work with Heather to disseminate that.
All right, great, thank you. Move for approval.
Second.
So we have a motion by Brian, second by David. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
All right, passes. Thank you. 5N. I think you're...
Are we at O? Did you take O? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm alphabetical.
I was going to try to give you a break. 5N, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a construction contract for the Illinois Avenue Mid-Block Crossing Project.
As you all know, the 2023 Bike and Pedestrian Plan recommended a pedestrian refuge at the crossing of the Fox River Trail on Illinois Street, just west of the bridge. Presented in November with the concept plan for that. We put it out to bid, and Martam Construction was our low bidder. They have recently completed or mostly completed the First Street Plaza project, and they'll be doing other work on the First Street Plaza in coordination with this work. The project did come in over budget. The additional costs will be covered through funds that are available from the Prairie Street project coming in under budget, and Bill has approved that. Also, we're able to save some money by moving the construction engineering to in-house rather than using a consultant.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion for approval by Brian, second by Bob. Roll call, please.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ron.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for putting in where the money's coming from for the shortfall. I appreciate that, so I know where it's coming from a certain source. Thank you.
So is that Petrilla and Gem?
Yes.
Okay. Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry. Now you're good. 5O, recommendation to waive the formal bid procedure and approve a resolution authorizing a purchase order to Bluff City Materials.
So Bluff City is our nearest clean construction debris disposal site. The next nearest one would be Rockford. It's about $160 a ton, give or take, at either facility. When we take it, trucking costs to get to Bartlett are a lot cheaper than to go to Rockford. Hence, I am asking to use Bluff City whenever practical in this request.
Motion to approve.
Weber will second.
Motion by Jamie, second by Steve. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Thank you. 5R, recommendation to approve a resolution awarding the bid for the annual fire hydrant painting program.
This is a 3-year contract. We go out to bid every couple of years, well, obviously every 3 years. Muscat Painting has been our low bidder for, I believe, the last 8 years. We do about 25% of the city's hydrants. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
How long does it last for, I mean, because saw some of the hydrants in the fourth ward, they were painted, they look great. It's been a couple of years, so.
It's a beautification thing, so everyone has an opinion about how long it lasts, and this is one of those beautification programs that we found that we paint them about every 4 years.
Okay.
The public is usually happy about it.
But it's 25% you do per year, roughly?
About depending on the approved budget, and it's a unit cost contract, so depending on how much money we approve per year, it's about 25%.
Okay.
I actually had a question that came from a resident asking about using union versus non-union painters for things, and I was just curious in this situation.
So all our contracts are prevailing, let me rephrase that. Most of our contracts are prevailing wage. Since this is tied to the water utility, it's prevailing wage contract.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
So we have a motion by Jamie, second by Brian. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gim?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
And that brings us to 5S, a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing a contract for electrical repairs.
So this is the first time we've gone to bid for this service. What we've been finding in the environmental services area, we have a lot of large electrical equipment, pumps, motors, VFDs, that's all, everything we touch has got large electrical. We're having a real challenge is finding electricians that have availability, and what we're finding is that over the year, these costs are adding up. So we figured it was best to go out for an RFP because all these costs add up. So this will be the first time we're going to try it. That's why we're also recommending the award to two separate contractors. First of all, for availability, usually these firms are a little bit smaller, so you call them, they may be tied up for a month on larger jobs, so they can't get to our urgent needs. So we would like to have some flexibility to award to either contractor based on availability and timing. That's why we're making a recommendation to award two contractors for, I believe this is a 3-year period, depending on performance and depending on budget annually. Any questions?
Yeah. And so these are for services that our in-house electricians can't handle?
Yeah. So our electric team is the wires overhead. This is like inside the building, like you're kind of like, not quite your home electrician that comes and plays with your outlets, but, a little bit larger equipment and motors and stuff like that.
And that's not the type of role that it would make sense for us to have full-time staff?
No, we try to do as much as we can as possible, testing, but then it gets to a point where we can't make the repairs, so we need some additional outside resources.
Got it. Thank you.
Move for approval.
So looking at it, something we haven't tried before with the 3-year contract, would you review their performance, as you said?
Yep.
Every
So
year?
if it's not working out, we can toss the contract, reformat it, and try it again next year.
Right. And I know AJ knows all the locations of our vendors. Are any local to St. Charles?
They're very close.
Okay.
So.
That's all I have.
Thank you. So we have a motion by Brian.
Second
By Jamie. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Gim?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 6, public comment. Going once? No? Going twice? Okay. Doesn't look like we need public comment. Any additional items from committee? Staff? Nobody? We do not have an executive session, so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any of those opposed? This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.